You are looking at your phone in the dark. The room is perfectly quiet. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, and you have to wake up in exactly 4 hours. Yet your thumb keeps moving. Swipe, swipe. Another disaster, another crisis, another piece of terrible news from a world that seems to be completely falling apart. You tell yourself that you will close the app after just one more post, but you do not. You keep scrolling, feeling a heavy weight settle deep into your chest. Why do you do this to yourself? You might think it's just a bad modern habit, or perhaps a simple lack of willpower, but the real answer is far stranger. You are not actually looking at a screen. In the eyes of your biology, you are standing at the edge of an ancient forest, desperately scanning the dark bushes for the glowing eyes of a hidden predator. Your phone has accidentally hacked a primitive survival mechanism that kept your ancestors alive for millions of years. To understand why you cannot look away from bad news, you have to look at how your brain was built. For 99% of human history, information was not a form of entertainment. It was a matter of life or death. If an early human spent their morning looking at a beautiful patch of flowers, they gained very little survival advantage. But if that same human spent their morning memorizing the exact sound of a rustling bush that might hide a venomous snake, they lived to see tomorrow. Dr. John Tooby and Dr. Lita Cosmides, pioneers in evolutionary psychology, point out that human cognition is entirely optimized for solving the problems of our ancestral environment. In that ancient world, missing a single piece of positive information meant you missed a meal. Missing a single piece of negative information meant you became a meal. This created a massive design feature in your mind, known as the negativity bias. Your brain is wired to prioritize bad news over good news by a factor of at least 4 to 1. When you open a social media app today, you are stepping into an artificial ecosystem designed by algorithms that understand this bias perfectly. The algorithm doesn't care if a post makes you happy or content. It only cares if you look at it. Because your brain automatically flags danger as the highest priority, the algorithm feeds you an endless stream of threats. You see economic collapse, climate disasters, and social conflict. Each headline triggers a tiny spike of cortisol and adrenaline in your system. Your amygdala, the ancient alarm bell of the brain, goes into high alert. It screams that there is danger nearby. What happens when your brain thinks it's in danger? It demands more information to protect itself. You scroll further to find out how to survive the threat. But the next post only presents a new threat. You are trapped in an infinite loop. Your biology is trying to find safety by gathering information, but the tool you're using provides an endless supply of peril. This loop creates a strange psychological phenomenon known as the mean world syndrome. Coined by communications professor George Gerbner, this theory proves that when people are exposed to a heavy diet of negative media, they begin to perceive the world as significantly more dangerous than it actually is. You start to look at strangers with suspicion. You feel a constant, low-grade sense of dread about the future. Your ancestors could eventually find safety by retreating into a cave or moving to a new valley. They could look around, see their tribes sleeping peacefully, and know the danger had passed. You cannot do that. The danger on your screen is global, abstract, and never-ending. Your brain never receives the signal that the predator has left the camp. So what happens to a mind that is constantly running a survival program with no end date? Dr. Robert Sapolsky, a neuroscientist who studied stress responses, discovered that chronic activation of this survival system physically alters the brain. The neural pathways in your amygdala become stronger and more sensitive, making you react even more intensely to future threats. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic, long-term planning, and emotional regulation, begins to lose its grip. You become reactive, tired, and easily frightened. Your thumb keeps swiping because your brain is desperately trying to solve a puzzle that has no solution. You are trying to find the end of danger in a machine that manufactures it for profit. Tonight, when you lie in bed and feel the urge to check the headlines one last time, remember what's actually happening. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are simply a creature with ancient, brilliant survival instincts trapped inside a digital maze. The next time you feel the weight in your chest, look up from the glass. Look at the quiet room around you. Recognize that the phantom predators on your screen cannot hurt you in this moment. By choosing to put the phone face down, you are finally telling your ancient brain that the tribe is safe, the fire is lit, and it's finally okay to close your eyes.